speaking of LeBron James, our ESPN all-time top 100 came out. You were ranked 20th, which is pretty great. Are you okay with 20?
Am I okay?
Yeah. Are you?
Does it matter to me?
Well, it doesn't.
Does it impact my day on a daily basis?
Well, maybe.
You know, my sons, they said, Dad, you were 20th, which I thought was fun that they were like, oh, Dad, I can't believe you were in the top 20.
Really?
Like,
oh.
Yeah,
well, did that miff you a little bit, or?
No, I don't really care. I mean, it is nice that they see that Dad actually did play basketball at one point, so that was fun. But yeah, I love lists like that. You know, I did a list for my favorite top players this morning for SportsCenter, and I did all my Spurs guys because my list is just as valid as theirs.
Well,
I have my biases I bring to the table too. So.
And by the way, at 20, you're still ranked above Kevin Durant at 22 and Steph Curry at 23. So the old guys still hanging in there, right?
I tend to be of the mindset you got to give the old guys their due, man. Those guys put in time. I mean, a guy like George Gervin, that guy, what he was able to do to set the stage for us to have success in San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio, it's a small market. He started the history of San Antonio. So now we have a really rich winning history, and it all started back there with Artis Gilmore and James Silas, and I mean, those guys set the stage. So I would never underestimate any of the guys. When you put some of those guys on lists, I mean, how do you quantify, a guy like Pete Maravich? The guy he changed the game.
You know what? I agree with that. He's 71st on this list.
The guy changed the game.
I agree.
He was
Molly isn't sure about Pete Maravich. That's way before Molly's time.
Yeah, well, you think you enjoy Steph Curry right now.
Yeah. Hey,
think about Steph Curry, 35 years ago, 40 years ago.
Educate us.
Well, I mean, he was Steph Curry before Steph Curry knew, anybody knew about that. So
unfortunately, he was shooting 35-foot shots when there was no three-point line,
and what he did in 3 years in college is just mind-boggling. And I mean, it's how do you? I mean, Bill Russell averaged 32 rebounds a game. Like, how do you even put that into context?
He won
nobody
11
does that
championships in 13 years. Bill Russell.
I mean, so I love the fact that these guys have the resume set already. LeBron. Even Tim to a certain extent. Tim has a ridiculous resume, but some of these guys are still there. I mean, how can you put Steph Curry in the top 50? I mean, I don't even understand.
Yeah,
like what?
He's going to wind up in the top 50. I got it.
The guy is
okay. To that point, LeBron is third on the all-time list already. For me, that's too high, too soon.
Way too high.
Okay. Oh, good. You're with me on that.
Way too high. I mean, how many champions do you have? Two championships
and 4 losses. And by the way, if you're San Antonio Spurs had been able to close that deal in Game 6 at Miami. Remember the Ray Allen 3 from the corner after LeBron came apart down the stretch? That would be 1 in 5.
No, I mean, he's another transcendent player, but he's still building his resume. Give the guy some time. Right now, how do you put him ahead of some of these guys? I mean, to me, it's mind-boggling. These guys have changed the stage. They allow these young guys to be who they are today. So, So I just give them a little more time to simmer.
All right. Tim Duncan has simmered for 19 years, and he's still simmering. And he played again last night. He came back, and he actually had 3 blocks in 18 minutes. And I still say he's as good a rim protector as there is today in pro basketball. Okay, so.
His
on this list,
defensively is amazing.
He's 8th on this list. Is that? Could you put him above any? Could you put him above Larry Bird? I could at 6.
Yeah, I would say he's in legend status. So he's already achieved his resume. You could put up it's anybody on that list. So. He's a different breed. He and Kobe are kind of they pretty much written down what they're going to write. So where you put them.
Although Tim could win another one this year, it's possible.
Well, that's true. But is that going to change your opinion of?
No.
I mean.
By the way, Tim has 5 championships in part thanks to you for some of it. But
glad
again,
I could help out on those.
He has 5 championships to only 1 loss. I just talked about how that 1 loss occurred.
Yeah.
It was a little fluky to me, a little freaky.
Yeah.
But
it's sports.
If Ray Allen doesn't hit that corner 3, Tim Duncan is 6-0 in the NBA Finals.
That would have been.
That's Jordan-esque, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the Spurs, I got to talk about Golden State. How much of a shot do you give your San Antonio Spurs against Golden State in a potential Western Conference final?
I love our team. I love the balance that we have. I love the fact that we got great size. We can shoot the ball. We can run up and down with you, and we can defend you like crazy. So, you know, we have a couple new guys. I mean, David West has been a big piece of our puzzle this year, especially with Tim sitting out a few games. LaMarcus is a monster, but he's had to figure out, how do I fit into this offense, right? I can't post up and do what I did in Portland. So he's doing a phenomenal
Does he fit?
job. Yeah, he fits.
Some nights I wonder.
Yeah, no, he's recently, if you watch him in the last 2 weeks, he's been amazing. So he's
but they have to let him post. And they have to clear it and just let him go.
To do that during the game. There's a time, but you know, you got to let, you know, Patty Mills and Danny Green and Kawhi get off a little bit too. So that balance is a tough balance, and so it's going to take 82 games for them to figure that out. And I think they're just getting better.
So are you saying Golden State is not invincible?
They look it right now.
Yes, they do.
But no, they are not invincible.
Because?
Because I think that when you get into a playoff series, it's a different field. You're playing a team 7 times. They figure out the things you like to do. You've got a smart coach like Pop. He's going to put all of those guys on that other team in an awkward situation. So, you know, yeah, they're good. But, you know, can Draymond win the game for them? Can Clay win the game for them 4 nights out of 7? I don't know. So I like our team. I like our experience. If we're healthy, I would give us a great shot to win.
Quick thought on Kawhi Leonard, emerging superstar. I've had I know he's getting there, but I'd had some questions because he's not built like a superstar mentally, emotionally, where he doesn't want to be that guy. It's not his nature to take over. And last night, they gave him the ball, cleared out at the end of the game at Orlando. I don't know if you got to see it, but I was just mesmerized because he came up big. He hit a clutch last-second jump shot to beat Orlando, who's a very tough young team, especially at home.
Fight you,
they will fight you, and they got athletic ability all over the floor.
Yeah.
And it was a huge night to me, as small as it might seem in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Kawhi hit a clutch jumper to win a game.
Yeah.
He's almost there to superstardom to me.
You know, I would disagree with you there. I mean, I think when he got that MVP a couple of years ago, he showed up, and our team is built differently. We don't need a guy to be that guy every night. We just don't. And Kawhi consistently, night in and night out, is a monster. He's a monster. I mean, he shoots threes. I don't even know where he got that from.
Well, they taught it to him.
I mean,
Chip England, the shooting coach.
He's a clutch three-point shooter. He rebounds. He's an incredible defender. He is a superstar. You know, and maybe I have the advantage of being there in San Antonio and watching those games. But night in and night out, I watch him, and my jaw's on the floor, and I'm thinking, this kid is amazing. I mean, I've been there. I don't know how many years he's been there, a few years, but he doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk.
He's quiet. But man, when he goes out on the floor, he does his job every night, and he's the glue to our team. So, you know, I would put him in that superstar category just because there's nobody in the league that I can think of. You might be able to say like a Draymond Green, maybe. But you know, Kawhi's a superstar. I mean, Kawhi's Finals MVP, multiple champion. You know, what can you say? The guy's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears and go way deeper with you. You have a great mind for this, deep heart on this. I want to go big picture. We've talked a lot on this show recently about the criticism of Cam Newton. Is it race-based or sort of racially motivated? You opened what's called the Carver School, San Antonio, nonprofit private school named for the great George Washington Carver, who was an early pioneer in racial harmony in this country, coming up from slavery.
Yeah. Great
man. Your thoughts just in general about the Cam criticism, how you saw it from a distance, and then go wider, if you would, about race relations as you see them today in this country.
Well, you know, with Cam, I got to say, during the game, I was rooting for Cam. I mean, I think he's been amazing. The guy has handled his position very well, I think. You know, the stuff that people criticize him for is ridiculous. I mean, it's really ridiculous. I mean, is he a little arrogant? Yeah, maybe a little arrogant. But the guy is incredible, and he's got a great heart. He loves to play. Has he pouted a little bit? Yeah, maybe he's pouted a little bit. So what? I mean, you know, has he used steroids? Has he cheated? Has he hit his girlfriend? I mean, nothing. No. There's no reason for people to attack him the way they do. So for me, I'm watching him and I'm thinking, okay, this guy, I love this guy. I love the way he plays. I love his energy. I don't think he's quite become the leader he needs to be for that team yet. And, you know, leadership goes, it's everything. It's how you react in that you know, interview afterwards.
Yep.
So what? There's a guy sitting behind you talking about how they beat you. I mean, I was there when Houston Rockets beat us in 95 and I'm sitting in the locker room and listening to, you know, them celebrate, and no, it's not a good feeling. I've been there where I didn't play my best, and yeah, so we learned from that, but we still got to lead that team. We got to take that team to the next level. You see how the Spurs responded when Ray Allen hit that shot, right? They came back and they said, hey, that's leadership. So, yeah, he has to take some steps forward. But I think the criticism of him is, I think it is racially motivated. There's, you know, you see how people refer to him and they kind of, that guy is amazing. He's amazing. And he's a young guy. And yeah,
just getting started.
Yeah, got to grow up. Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. But man, I love the way he's handled himself on the court, on the floor, field. He's improved every year. He's been a professional when it comes to doing his job, showing up day in and day out. He's not out drinking and partying and whatever else, you know. So, yeah. I think it's a little bit unfair. We should expect a lot from him because he's shown those flashes of brilliance. Okay. But you know, let the criticism be fair. Yeah, you didn't play your best game. Yeah, you fumbled. Yeah, you didn't jump on the ground for that ball. I don't know what was going on in your head. I know if you had to do it over again, you'd probably jump on that ball.
I agree.
You know? So,
I agree.
So, but you know, but you know, the guy's been amazing. How old is he?
26, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got a 23-year-old, so I'd be pretty happy if my 23-year-old was acting, you know, as mature as Cam is, handling what he's handling.
Okay, last question's a tough one, but you played with Monty Williams.
Yeah. Ooh.
Lost his wife last night in a car accident in Oklahoma City, leaving 5 kids with Monty. Your thoughts? I know you share his faith, Christian faith.
Yeah. Now, you know, wow. Where do you even start? Monty is a phenomenal guy, great family guy. You know, like you said, big family, and Ingrid was the heart and soul of that family. So to lose her in this manner is devastating. And if there's anybody who's equipped to deal with this and to understand God's providence in it, I think it's Monty, and I think it's his family. And you know, my prayers are with them. You know, I love him. I love that family. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I've been with my wife now for 24 years, and she's amazing, and I don't know what I would do without her. And my boys are already grown up, and he's got small children. So yeah, it's the worst news you could hope for.
We appreciate your perspective on it.
Such a tragedy.
And our prayers are also with the family.
With the entire family. David, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you, David.
You're all over the place. Thank you for getting up early and making it fun for us. I'm Mike and Mike N here in First Take.
My pleasure.
Coming up next, they were part of the crew that dominated Cam and company in Super Bowl 50. Joining us, our champion Broncos, TJ Ward and Bradley Roby. We'll get into the defense, Peyton's future. Here they are.
Yeah, what's up?
That's not cubic zirconium, huh?
They are.
How you doing, man?
Man, the champions. How you doing, man?